Come with us where the corn is popped and the throwback Thursdays never stop. It's a magical land not far away. All you have to do is just press play.
So
hop on the couch and close your eyes. Gonna party like it's 99. Join us, watch the movies of our lives with Blockbuster Wives.
welcome to Blockbuster Wives, where your two favorite 90s babies talk about movies from the era of a certain blue and yellow video rental store. I'm your host with the most late fees, Shea Baby.
And this is Stacy, not always kind, but always reminds. And you're listening to Blockbuster Wives.
Yeah!
Shea and I are once again using the same mic in a really janky way because we have our first special guest for Branden Falger.
Bow, bow, bow. Yeah, so if you guys don't know, if you're just joining us right now and haven't listened to the last episode, this month, September, is called Branden Falger, dedicated to our king, whomst do we love? I don't know. We love him so much, and we just wanted to share our love with, people in our lives. So we have a very special guest with us today, and we're so excited. It's our first guest.
Yes, because when we announced Branden Falger, people were interested. My friend Branden here was like, you guys are going to do The Mummy, right? And I was like, obviously, we have to do The Mummy. And just by way of background, I know Branden through my organizing efforts. He's with the Nevada Coalition Against the Death Penalty. He's awesome. He's doing cool shit. Follow him on Instagram. Sign up to volunteer. Let's all get the death penalty abolished.
Woo!
But we can talk about that later, because tonight we're going to talk about The Mummy. Hello, Branden.
Hi.
Are you shy?
No. Thanks for inviting me on, y'all.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't know each other. This is our first time meeting.
Indeed.
So we haven't been able to talk about our extensive love for Brendan Fraser, The Mummy, etc. So number one question, why The Mummy? Why was it so important for you to come on for this specific movie and, chat it up with us?
So for me, people will be like, oh, The Mummy, it's a great popcorn movie, but it's no Citizen Kane. Those people could eat my whole ass. I think the movie is almost perfect. There's almost no fat you can really trim from that screenplay. The way it's actually made and acted, you're like, yeah, I'm here the whole way through.
Okay, I did notice on this rewatching what I consider to be a plot hole, so I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. So my question is, when they are trying to destroy Imhotep, the evil mummy reborn, why don't they destroy the jars with his organs in it? They're like protecting it and like making sure nothing bad happens. So I'm like, light that shit on fire. Wouldn't that prevent him from coming back?
I mean, potentially, but they also don't have access to it for most of the movie. They were jacked by that other in giant scare quotes, archaeological crew that was robbing his tomb.
But they knew he was coming back, and they knew that the jars were related to him coming back, and their solution was like, let's barricade ourselves in a hotel room and guard it. And I'm like, yo, get rid of that shit.
Well, I mean, let's be real. No one was imagining it was a giant sand mummy that was here to suck the life from their body. I'm pretty sure they just thought it was some Egyptians who were like, I don't like you tomb robbing. So...
That is true, and the tomb robbing is pretty egregious. Like, these were holy burial sites, and they're like, let's just break in that bitch, steal the book, because I like Egypt, because my mom was Egyptian. I'm like, listen, lady, you need to calm all the way down.
Hard agree.
Did you know as any plot holes, any misses?
No. This is so funny, sharing this mic. I don't know how ridiculous it sounds on the other side, but this is incredible. No, I didn't. This is actually my second time watching this movie, and so I was just I almost said engorged. I was enthralled. I was very excited to watch because I didn't remember, any of it except for everyone being insanely hot. And that's, yeah.
Second.
Yeah, right? Everybody wild. Okay.
Yeah, I think one thing, because I did rewatch it in expectation of coming on here, was normally when you have movies set in the Mideast, they're almost always super Orientalist. And this movie came out in 99, so people just didn't care. And it's an American movie, not a European movie. But it's still pretty good about it. I think they still play up that, hey, the ancient Egyptian being this weird society, which, it's 2,000 years ago, so it kind of is. But at least in terms of the way current day Egyptians are depicted, they're just kind of normal people. I think the only part that's kind of weird is midway through the movie where Imhotep just turns a giant group of people into zombies. But, you know.
Yeah, they didn't really, like, explain that at all. They literally, it's like, oh, no, it's Imhotep. And then everyone's like, what's that sound? And there's crowds of people going, Imhotep. And you're like, wait. I did think that the portrayal of, like, Benny, the sneaky guy, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this with his fez and weird mustache. But he is a funny character.
Yeah, it does feel like it's harkening back to some old, like, stereotypes that you used to see in adventure movies, like, back in the 40s and 50s. I don't know. I don't think they just play it straight, which almost feels like that's the joke in a movie that's as campy as The Mummy.
That's a great point.
I never thought about it like that.
So how many times do you think you've seen The Mummy?
I mean, are we counting partial watches, or is it only...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're able, is it like your favorite movie?
Okay, hear me out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because
so
my
before,
favorite movies...
you know, way back in the dark era, before video on demand was a thing, yeah, you like catch it on FX and you watch part of it.
Oh, so not like purposeful.
Yeah, it's like,
semi-watches.
oh, The Mummy's on. Cool. I know the movie. I'll just watch the back half of it.
Okay, well that's different because that's not your like choice, you know.
Well, it was my choice.
Well, you
but
know
it
what
wasn't
I mean.
my.
Like it wasn't your decision to be like specifically. I want to watch partially and then just stop halfway through.
Right.
Right. You're not a fair weather fan.
And that was definitely my experience of most times I watched The Mummy. It was bits and pieces on FX. So it's really fun to rewatch it from beginning to end because I've probably seen that beginning scene like one time maybe because I never saw it when it started. But I was like, oh, okay, love all this info. Like I got the basic idea that he's trying to resurrect his lady, but like I had forgotten why they were killed and all this shit.
I also forgot that. Okay, but the most important question of the evening. Are you ready for this? There is an incorrect answer. Do you love Brendan Fraser?
Most of his movies, yeah.
Most of his movies? No.
So
like, which
apparently,
ones do you love and which ones do you not like?
So have you seen the Tarzan movie with Brendan Fraser?
You mean George of the Jungle?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
the
we actually just did
Tarzan
an episode about that.
Yeah, that's hard to watch. It's
Okay, wait,
real
why?
hard to watch.
Wait, why? Tell me why you don't like it.
Oh, like actually, I thought it was self-explanatory.
No, I love that movie.
Oh, it is so incredibly camp. Like,
Exactly.
I read a lot of the old the pulp novels from back in the day that Tarzan came from, and like George of the Jungle kind of riffs on real heavy. I don't know, man. That's not the way to do it.
I say that. I was like, George of the Jungle is one of the few movies that I, as a kid watching, walked away and was like, that was dumb. Like, even as a kid, I was like, that was a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, it is what it is. But, like, if you're trying to adapt, like, dime store novels, I think, like, John Carter of Mars is a way better way to adapt some really old, kind of questionable text. Instead of the animatronic monkeys and it was a lot.
Well, and as we talk about on our episode, George is found as a baby in the jungle, gets the name George, but his caretaker, who is an ape, is just named Ape. And I'm like, can we get this ape a name? So is this your favorite Brendan Fraser movie?
It's this or the one he did. God, I'm spacing on the name.
What was it about? Blast from the Past?
No, he gets a little thing from the devil and he can basically make wishes. I am spacing on the name of it now.
1, 2, 3.
Bedazzled, which will be next week.
Yeah, that's next week. That is honestly probably my favorite Brendan Fraser movie. Although I do love George of the Jungle because it's so camp. It's like very silly and it's super cartoony and like very physical comedy-y, and that's my shit. So that's why I love it.
So what do you think is your favorite scene or concept from The Mummy, and what's your least favorite?
All right, so if we're being 3,000% honest, the scarabs. Like, scarabs are normally pretty adorable beetles, right? Come in a variety of shapes, colors, sizes. You know, they're endemic all over the Middle East and Africa. And for the longest time, I thought they would just burrow into your skin and just eat you alive. Which, you know, kudos to whoever in the FX department was like, we're giving kids nightmares from now on about these beetles.
Mm-hmm. I had forgotten like how scary this movie is because I fully saw it when it came out, and I think because I was so obsessed with Egypt, I like was just more into that than the horror. But I was like, yo, this shit is scary, and that scarab scene haunted me. I'm with you, Brandon. I was like, if I see scarab, I gotta smash that shit because it will crawl into my skin and kill me.
Yeah, I totally agree. Scarabs, I was like freaked out about for a long time. Also because of, I think Indiana Jones, if I'm not mistaken, like the ride had like there's a scene in the, or scene? I don't know. There's a part in the ride at Disneyland where it's like, and they're all like climbing up the, and so, yeah, they're just depicted, you know, as really horrifying and will murder you. And that's, you know, uncool, honestly. Justice for scarabs, you guys. No.
That's your least favorite.
No, that's the top notch scene. That's arguably, I think, the best. Because like you know, effects wise, you know, this is 1999, so like, you know, our computers are still giant bricks at this point, and they are just killing it with this effect where it looks surreal enough, but real enough for you're like, I don't like it. Nightmare fuel.
Absolutely. And so what's your least favorite part then?
Does it have to be a scene in the movie or a part of the movie?
Could be a part.
I mean, I think for me, the part that I dislike most is, I can't remember the character's name because it is the Bedouin character who's supposed to watch over the tomb. I think like as a kid, you're like, whatever. Then as an adult, I'm like, are you telling? There's a secret society that's been around for 4,000 years that survived an uncountable number of changes to the world to protect this. That's insane.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the way they cast it is he is in the scene from like 3,000 years ago. I think implying that like this is his family, and I'm like, not one of those family members. Like, man, fuck this. I'm not doing this shit anymore.
Well, I mean, it wasn't even that. It's like, how do you survive that long as a family who's dedicated to one thing? And I don't know. I guess like if a secret society like that did exist, we wouldn't know they exist because that's how they stayed around this long. But considering the sheer amount of time, that is also bonkers.
It's a long ass time.
And aren't they called the Magi? Which I was like, wait, like my old Catholic senses were tingling from back in the day. And I was like, Magi?
Wait, that's Catholic?
Yeah, the 3 Magi are the kings.
Oh, I'm like a full heathen.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah. No, I'm a reformed heathen, thank you so much. But yeah, when it was like the Magi, I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess like, yeah, the problem is like the Bedouin depiction basically doesn't exist in Western media. It's like you have like Lawrence of Arabia, Mummy, Hidalgo, the horse racing movie. Yeah, that's like it. It's like there's not a lot of representation, and it's like whenever we do see Bedouin people represented, they're not people. They're superhumans.
No, yeah, that is a really good point. And like in this movie, yeah, they're like basically superheroes. Like they know every time someone's gonna come into that city of the dead, and they're like on it. And like cool face paint though. That guy's also super hot. Every single person in this movie is just fine. Even the brother who's supposed to be like a goofball. I was like, hi. Oh, Shay's got something to say about that.
Okay. The brother? What's his name? Jonathan?
Yeah.
He looks like Frankie Muniz, y'all.
A little bit.
Like, I saw him and I was like, older, hotter Frankie Muniz. I love to see it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying.
You have questionable taste in men.
What? Okay. How do you're basing that off of one thing where I said he looks low-key like Frankie Muniz and you judge him?
Well, like Frankie Muniz is attractive, and I'm spacing on the actor's name.
Then how do I have questionable taste in men?
Because he is not.
You just said he was okay. You just said.
I don't like the thin, reedy thing he has going on. Not my thing.
Well, I'm confused. So you're pro Frankie Muniz,
Yes.
but you don't think that this guy he doesn't live up to
like,
Frankie Muniz
the actor's name is
standards.
John Hannon, right?
Okay.
Like the B-list British actor at best.
B-list.
But like
He is my father. Just kidding.
I don't know. He has that British face where it's like some British people are attractive and then some of them look British. I'm not here for it.
Well, here's the thing. As we established, you don't know me very well, but I'll tell you this. I like all types of people, okay? I'm pan and I'm a whore. So
Well, I mean, that goes without saying.
I love all kinds of people, so he's just one of the many that I find attractive. All right, anyways.
I will say it's a rare day indeed when Shea does not think someone's hot. So I don't really know how much this endorsement's really worth.
Okay, so
Love
here's
you. She's about to spit out her drink because she knows it's true.
so here's the question for you. Older man who is the professor of Egyptology, hot or not?
Hot.
Hot. Wait. Yeah, hot. Okay, you know what else he was in? He was also in I wrote it down. Hold on.
Mr.
That
Deeds?
sound was Mr. Deeds. Yeah, and he's hot as fuck in Mr. Deeds. He's the guy with the pipe who's like he's like flirting with the old ladies in the town. He's like hello, like he's hot. Yeah, for sure. Everyone in this movie is hot. Everybody. Even what's his name? The plane guy that dies. I was like,
Okay, whoa, whoa. That man was already had a foot in the grave.
okay. And
Fair enough.
listen, I just love souls, okay? And he had a beautiful soul, and he died to protect his friends. So, suck on that.
So she's talking about Bernard Fox, who, when he was in this movie, was already 71.
He had a foot in the grave and a foot into Shay's pants.
Ageist. I call ageism.
Hey,
No, he was really cute.
He was adorable.
Like how he died with like a smile on his face. Ugh, so sweet.
a bit, yeah.
Okay. What I mean by everything I'm saying is that I'm really into people being hella cool. Okay. So regardless of what he looked like or how old he was so like he was just like, so I'll go on this journey, like blah blah blah. What is it looking like? And Brendan Fraser's like, you'll likely not live. And he was like, okay, like I'll be able to save a girl's life, help save the world. Like cool. Like he sacrificed himself essentially for the cause, which we love.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? So that's hot in and of itself.
But I think Brandon's point is he was already almost dead anyway. So what was that sacrifice worth, you know?
Without him, they wouldn't have. Without him, they wouldn't have been able to save the world, and Jonathan's sister would have died, and Brendan Fraser would have never rode off in a sunset with the lady that he loves on a camel. I don't know.
Yeah, but they're not in love.
I just want to say that
they trauma bonded.
Shay
which
just
is why
called
they get
Evie Jonathan's sister. Like she's not the fucking main character.
Yeah.
God bless.
Evie is definitely the main.
He's just like, who's that bitch? Jonathan's sister? Frankie Muniz's sister.
I'm like Frankie Muniz means so much to me. Okay. Okay. Anyways, it doesn't. Do I think they're hot? Yeah, they're all hot. We all agreed on that earlier. So, anyways, so who do you think is the hottest person in the movie? That's my question. Stacey,
Okay,
you
the
can
guy
answer
who
this
plays Imhotep, Arnold Vasloo, who I did not realize until 20 minutes before I came over was South African. I just thought my whole life he was Egyptian.
Yeah, he does play the part very well. Costuming on fleek. He is very hot. I do have to give it to my girl Evie, and here's why. I think that she was able to capture a very Marilyn Monroe-esque vibe in that she's very gorgeous, but she also has great physical comedy. Like the scene with her on the bookshelf and like teetering around, I was like, this is great. I could watch this all fucking day. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, but Marilyn Monroe was not a good actor.
Wow.
Could she memorize lines? No, because she was high on coke. But when she did do her lines, they were great.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think she was a great stage performer, but it's like Frank Sinatra could work the stage, could sing really well. They should have never put that man in movies.
I think people should do whatever they want. No, but I do think Marilyn Monroe was a way better actor than they wanted to depict her as. They wanted to depict her as a dumbass bitch who was just like, oh, I blah, blah, blah. She took acting really seriously. They just always cast her in really shitty roles where she didn't really have to be super emotional. So I will say, like, I understand where you're coming from, but I think she was a better actor than we all knew, you know?
So it's more like a Megan Fox situation, and she never got her Jennifer's Body moment.
I think so. Because I think Megan Fox is a pretty good actor. Like, in Jennifer's Body, she was great. Also a very camp movie. I love all camp movies. I'm just realizing this right now. All right.
All right, so before we close out, any other mummy-related things you want to talk about, you want to get off your chest, you want to discuss?
So, okay, part for me that's wild rewatching the movie. So, from 1999, And if you look at the production, I think production lasted 3 years for that movie. So when you look at the effects, even some of the stretching and warping of like Imhotep's face during like Act 2 looks pretty damn good, all things considered. And then you compare it to like recent movies. I think I was talking about Shang-Chi earlier, and like there's just giant chunks of that movie that look like ass because it's rush CG. And I think it's a testament to like what you can do when you plan shots correctly, because it just looks on point.
Yeah,
And
I had that in my notes. I was like, why does it still look so good? And this was 1999? Like, what the fuck? And as you were alluding to earlier, Scorpion King,
It's
I
terrible.
don't know what the fuck happened to that CGI department, but they must have gotten let go or wanted more money, but my God, it looks awful.
No, I think it's Corridor Digital. They do a show called VFX Artists React, and I think they spoke with one of the actors not actors, the artists who worked on that scene. It was just super rushed. So like they went through and like in an afternoon tried to redo it using modern effects, and it's like it's not worse, but yeah. But it was definitely one of those situations where it was just rushed at the end, so it just looks terrible. And I think Imhotep sliding in after the Scorpion King like opens it best me. Like I am surprised no one has made that a meme.
You could do it.
Fair enough.
I believe in you, Brandon. You
I
can
don't.
make this a meme. Aww. Well, you came to the right place because we're about to gas you up.
Okay.
You need to make that a meme. I believe in you. I know you can do it.
Fair enough.
You'll be world famous for your meme making skills. Just saying, skills with a Z. All right.
Yeah. Oh God. And we'll share it and we'll help spread it
Fair enough.
to our approximately 200 Instagram followers. Shout out. We're going viral, baby.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You know, okay, so there's a thing in the sequels that like, and I guess it's all arguably this is one of the first movies to do it, but where, you know, you get the two main leads who end up romantically involved, not because they necessarily have chemistry, but like, I'm the lead guy, you're the lead lady, let's go. That's what the movie demands of us. And they always get divorced in the second movie, and I don't know. It's bad. I just want the relationship to work for once.
What happens in this? Do they get a divorce in the second one, or is it not even
Yeah,
about
they're
them?
just, you know, it's like, I think Speed does that. National Treasure. I'm spacing other action adventure movies that do that. But it's a pretty common trope. Because it's exactly what would happen. Arguably.
Princess Diaries 2.
I
Mia and Michael break up. He's not even in the second one. I thought they were great together, and then she ends up with, what's his name, Chris Pine or whatever his name is? I don't know. But anyways, I hated that. I thought that they were perfect in the first one. You know what I'm talking about.
don't remember that romance.
It's great.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, Michael's the dude who plays piano with M&Ms on it, which was always a scene that stuck out in my mind.
Fair enough.
Does it bringing up memories? Yeah, he is cool. What did she say? He's really cool. He plays guitar. He's so hot.
That's me talking about everybody.
Fair enough.
She's like, he's 78 years old. He wants to die in a plane crash. He's so hot.
True. All right. So have you always been interested in mummies and like Egyptian lore?
I mean, yeah, I think especially as someone who's really interested in ancient history, is it's like Egypt isn't, you know, like China will claim, oh, we're the longest lasting civilization. No, the fuck you're not. Like, mind you, if you look at some of the older dynasties, like there's massive cultural shifts between some of the early Chinese dynasties, and then you look at Egypt, and it's just continuous civilization for like 4,000 years, and there is nothing like it on Earth where you have the same continuity of gods. It's not to say that certain gods don't they're more prominent or less prominent from dynasty to dynasty, but like that continuity of culture there is so insane. And then you have on top of that, you know, once you get into like the Axial Age, you have the Greeks coming in, taking over Egypt, and you get Cleopatra and the whole dynasty of the Ptolemies, and it's like they're in a land where all of these monuments are ancient as fuck to them. Like how they built that is also a mystery, and they have no goddamn idea. And I think that it might just be because I'm American and like the oldest thing we have here are like some Anasazi ruins from the last time this area dried out. But just like, oh yeah, I might just find a coin that's older than most of the planet civilizations is just a wild thing to me.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason I was so into Egypt as a kid. Like, I was obsessed. I checked out, like, every book on Egypt I could get at the library, and I was like, these people are fucking sick. They had mummies. What's not to like? They drink beer all day. Even as a kid, I was like, that's dope. Like, they were living life, truly. And all the gods. And what really got me into it initially was the book, The Egypt Game. Did you ever read that?
No.
Okay, it was a children's book, and I barely remember what it's about, but the kids in the book, they like have their deities, and they like write their names in hieroglyphics, and they're like transported back to an Egyptian land. And I was like, yeah, I want to be in Egypt.
You know, I know for me, my interest mostly came from being forced to go to Bible school, and then realizing, like, I guess pretty early on, I was always obsessed with history, so it's like, most of the Old Testament just, like, didn't happen. But parts
You heard it here first.
yeah, but like parts, there are parts where the Old Testament overlaps with real history, specifically in Egypt and Babylon. That was like, oh, that's really cool. Oh, well, maybe there's like something to this, and then I dug into it, and I'm like, oh, nope, there absolutely wasn't.
You're like, it's full trash from top to bottom, baby. I feel it. I went to a lot of Catholic school too, and I was just like, I hate this so much. Everything sucks. But I love, like, you guys could teach a damn class on Egypt, and I would sign up for every fucking class.
Please don't. That is not my area of expertise.
But this, like, no, you just talking about it, I was like entranced. That's so cool. I'm like, I don't know anything about this. It's so awesome.
I don't know. I guess the thing that always got me was especially, it's like, so many of these monuments were around until recently. So, like, the Great Pyramid in Giza was still clad in marble until, like, the 13th century when an earthquake, like, knocked the marble off. Or, like, the Great Lighthouse at Alexandria was around until, like, I think this mid-1700s before an earthquake just slid that whole part of Alexandria into the Mediterranean.
Yeah, it's really sad. I'm sure you're the same way. I'm like, the library at Alexandria.
No.
Like, such a tragedy.
Oh, it's absolutely not.
Why not?
So, because the whole way we think about it just isn't true.
Oh, God.
In earlier time periods, the library was super important because Egypt was like the cultural center of the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
But as time wore on, you just had that information spread throughout way more libraries, not just throughout, that part of North Africa, but deeper into Europe and Greece and Italy, parts of Spain.
So are you telling me that the ending of National Treasure, where they find the Library of Alexandria, is no big deal?
Yes.
I just, like, the mic's cut out. We're like,
I mean, it's just not that great a story that, like, oh, hey, this library burned down multiple times, but it wasn't that important because the knowledge had already been, like, copied and spread to other libraries. So by the time of, like, the big fire during the Roman invasion, it just, like, no one gave a fuck. Like, at the time, other scholars just didn't care because it wasn't that important.
Well, tell that to Nicolas Cage, okay? Who lives here, and we are going to try. We're manifesting right now, Nick Cage. You're going to come on our podcast one day.
Hey, don't get me wrong. Like, it works. Like, National Treasure just leaning into the meme. Like, go off, do it. But unfortunately, history is not memes.
I think Nicolas Cage would love us. And wouldn't it be cool if he, like, followed you? Like, he's, like, our next guest. You, like, opened, and then he came in second. That'd be so... You opened for Nick Cage.
You know what? Greatest actor of our generation.
Oh, you really think so?
Yes.
Really? What about Brendan Fraser? Dun, dun, dun. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Brendan Fraser is definitely great. I think, like, Nick Cage has got to the point in his career where he's, like in the 2000s where, like, we started thinking of him as, like, this man is not good. At this point, he had reached the pinnacle of his career, and he was like, fuck it. But dude, I'm here for the interesting stuff now. I think there's a couple actors like that. If I recall, Gary Oldman was like that, where he's like, yeah, I've done it all. Fuck it. I'm here for trash now. There's a couple other actors that were like, yeah, I got my Oscar. Still gotta put food on the table, though.
Doing trash until the end of time.
Yeah, which is kind of the plot of his new movie, The Incredible Weight of Unbearable Talent, which I did see in theaters and was great because I'm part of a little informal Nick Cage fan group. We watch his movies, and we all went to see this one, and it was great.
Wanted to see it. Wanted to see it. Didn't. All right, that's all I wanted to say.
I thought about it, and then I was like, you know what? It's a Nick Cage movie. It is better watched at home with copious amounts of alcohol.
There you go.
Hell yeah. Okay, well, I think Nick Cage is a great place to end it because he will be following you as a guest.
Fair enough.
I feel like the table is set. Anything you want to plug? Anything you want to shout out? Anything you want to use this platform for?
Damn, that's a lot of weight you're putting on me.
You don't have to, too. You could be like, Nick Cage is the best. That's all I had to say.
I guess follow the Nevada Coalition Against Death Penalty, NVC ADP, or follow me at Aggressively Bougie, spelled exactly how you think. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Awesome. Well, you heard it. Nevada Coalition Against the Death Penalty, Aggressively Bougie. Thank you, Brandon, so much.
Yeah, honestly, Brandon, we feel so lucky that you wanted to come on here and join us to talk about Brendan Fraser, about The Mummy specifically, and hopefully next you'll just hear Nicolas Cage coming on and shouting you out, and it'll be fucking amazing.
That's how my career starts.
Yeah, there we go. See, this is how we get the meme really started. First it's this, then Nicolas Cage, then the meme. We're going up, baby.
So happy we had Brandon on. You could hear his passion for The Mummy. Such a great interview. Thank you again, Brandon, for being our first guest.
Yeah, thanks, Brandon. We really love when people are like super, not only passionate, but also super opinionated, because we are too. Mm-hmm. And you kind of need to be a podcast, obviously. But it's cool to have guests that are also just like really knowledgeable and fun.
Yeah, so thank you again, Brandon.
Thanks, Brando.
And now we're going to get back to our regular segments.
Hell yeah.
Because what would an episode of Blockbuster Wise be without corporate bullshit? But before we do, I'll just provide a little light summary in case you were hella confused during that interview. But the basic gist of the movie is that Evie is like a fine little Egyptologist living in Egypt. She loves to study it. She wants to be an adventurer, but she doesn't have any experience, and she longs for drama, basically. And then, meanwhile, you got our boy, Brendan Fraser, who is like a scoundrel treasure hunter. And he happens to come across this like mysterious ruins area. He gets chased off by equally mysterious desert dwellers, but he makes it back to civilization. But he's pissed off some people and he's gonna be executed. Dun, dun, dun. And Evie's like, not on my watch, because he knows about this creepy city, and I want to go to the creepy city because I think it has books I want. So Evie rescues his ass, and they team up, they fall in love, they go adventuring, and then, whoopsies, they awake an evil mummy curse that, like, tries to fuck everyone up. And that's really, like, basically it.
There really is. And as we mentioned previously, everyone in this movie is fucking fine as shit.
Like
and
12 out of 10s.
Like every single fucking person.
They knew what they were doing.
I swear, I don't know if I've ever seen a more fine cast in my entire life.
Yeah, no, they're going for the Zorny crowd, for sure.
Well, they hit the right two people in their podcast.
It was rated PG-13, which I don't think I realized, because this movie came out when Shea and I were 8. And I fully thought of it as a kid's movie. But it's really not.
No.
It's very horny. It's very adult. Very violent.
Yeah, I also thought of it as a kid's movie just because we saw it when we were kids. So I was like, oh, it must be, it's about adventure and like blah, blah, blah. But no, absolutely. It's definitely for the super horned up and ready to go crowd.
Yeah, and I thought it was a Disney movie. It's not. It's Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Warner Brothers.
Which is why it's at Warner Brothers Studio Theme Park, which is called... What is it called?
Wouldn't it be Universal?
Universal
It would
Studios.
be, okay. I was going to say, they have a ride, don't they?
Oh, yeah, and it's amazing.
Did we go on
It's the best ride at the park. I'm sure we did, because I'm obsessed with it.
Wait, then how do I not remember
So when you mentioned the Disneyland ride with all the scarabs going,
yeah,
I think you're thinking of the Mummy.
No, but Indiana Jones has it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Indiana Jones has that. It has a giant spider. It has, obviously the boulder, but like maybe both.
Yeah, so the Mummy roller coaster ride at Universal Studios California is amazing. You like get on, you go through the tombs, and then what's really cool is when you get to the end, it runs it backwards. So you do everything you just did like super fast backwards. And you're like, ah!
Wait, I kind of do remember that. Anyway, we need to go back. So
It's the best ride. Every time I go there, I'm like, we got to ride the Mummy. The line usually isn't that long either, which is nice.
Send us to Universal so we can ride the Mummy ride and review it. No, I'm kidding.
Thanks.
Okay, so do we want to hear some corporate bullshit?
I need to hear some corporate bullshit.
All right. The Mummy was made in 1999, specifically May 4th, 1999.
May the 4th be with you.
May the
Star
4th be
Wars
with
Day.
you and also with you. Director Steven Sommers, who also directed, and he wrote the screenplay as well. He's attached to like 1,000 different movies, but
I'll say a big 90s name.
yeah, he did Night at the Museum.
Mm-hmm.
He did just like a lot of action movies from that era. Just keep that in mind. He's just like one of those dudes, and
action
he obviously
OG.
did really well. It's starring Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, John Hannah, Arnold Vosloo, Jonathan Hyde, and Kevin J. O'Connor. And it's based on the 1932 film of the same name. Oh,
I bet that movie sucks.
Yeah. It's 125 minutes.
Very long.
A long-ass movie.
And I did think it felt a little long.
I think I just feel like I saw the same scene like 7 times.
Yeah, I thought they went way too hard on the plot. I was like, listen, nobody cares about what book is where and la 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 la. Like, you're trying too hard.
No.
No one cares.
And listen, from 2 experienced screenplay writers, and by that I mean we did 1, we know when to trim the fat.
You gotta
know?
trim the fat. And I was like, yeah, you're getting very in depth into this, and it does not need to be.
Yeah, it definitely didn't need to be 2 hours. Over 2 hours, I should say. Definitely past the perfect time of 90 minutes.
And it takes a really long time for them to get to Emotep.
Yeah.
Like, the Mummy does not get resurrected for like a full hour. And
yeah.
it's like, okay, like, we should have gotten here a lot quicker.
Yeah, I'm like, you did way too much. The budget was $80 million.
Ooh.
Are you ready for how much they made?
Oh my god, a shit ton.
Box office is $416.4 million.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Shrek budgets.
That's like, how many Shrek budgets?
60
Was that?
million. So they spent a little bit more than Shrek.
Whew.
But they got a shit ton back.
Yeah. Like
Wow.
5 times the amount. Like $80 million is a lot for a budget. That's a
Yeah,
shit
and I
ton
do
of
think
money.
this is like Brendan Fraser's most famous role. That makes sense because it was such a hit.
That's true. Giant hit. And also, like, I can see what, because there was a lot of CGI at a really, like, early time, 1999. There were...
But we talked about this. Branden looked great.
It looked amazing.
Looked super good still.
Oh, yeah. If you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend it, especially if you're super into, like, Egyptian history, if you're into, like, that adventure. Like, if you're into, like, Indiana Jones type, ish, you would love it. I'm not a huge action movie girl, but, like, it was romantic enough and obviously sexy enough and fun enough that, like, I had fun watching it. So
And lots of different sets.
yeah,
Like, you're in Egypt, you're in ruins, you're on a boat, you're like
tombs.
in a tomb, you're in hotels in Alexandria. Like,
Yeah.
super cool location.
I didn't think about it like that, but that's really true. You're kind of jumping around quite a lot, and everything, since it was set in the 20s.
I think so.
I love the costuming too. And
I know, I'm like, I know this is like colonial bullshit,
Yeah.
but like, I love a structured jacket.
yeah,
I love a beige, orange, brown color palette.
everyone in this fucking movie had these same exact colored outfit, like the beige, like the light beige pants, the light beige shirts. I loved Brendan Fraser's like leather strappy situation.
He has like gun holsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just like anything he does is so fucking hot.
Well, we're back to tan ass Brendan Fraser.
We are.
He's so tan.
He's so tan. His
The
hair
is
is
like
like
falling perfectly.
it's so perfectly 90s. It's like split in the middle, but has like a little bit in his face.
Little
and he's-
curtain bangs, if you will. So dreamy.
Yeah, what if we got Brendan Fraser on the podcast?
I would die.
would die.
Hashtag Branden Falsher. Everybody, contact him if you have his number.
Also, everyone should be using the hashtag Branden Falsher for any of your fall-related posts.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to make this like a trend on, I don't know, whatever social media.
To support our man.
Yeah, especially with, you know, all of his new projects coming out. We're so excited. But anyways, so that's... Oh, and Rotten Tomatoes. Let me
Oh, yeah. I gotta know what Rotten Tomatoes and Roger Ebert had to say.
Okay, so we got 61% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, not bad.
Not too bad. And then, let me look up
I
Roger
bet it'd be
Ebert.
higher if it were shorter.
He rated the movie...
I wish I could roll my R's, but
Why aren't you showing me?
The suspense is killing me.
I know, I'm so sorry. Where are you? Where are you, Christmas? Oh, 3 stars.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, which is, I would say that's the average amount of stars for the movies that we review.
Yes, it seems like he's pretty even Stevens with all of these.
Yeah, like he seems pretty fair, to be honest. I would agree with 3 stars.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so that's corporate bullshit, y'all.
Yeah, thank you for those facts and figures. I'll get them to the boss.
Oh, I try.
In the corner office.
Stat.
I'll make some Excel spreadsheets.
Wow.
Straight away.
Speaking my language, baby. Not really. I'm not in that life, but
Yeah, so I have my notes. A lot of them we did cover with Branden, but there
Yeah.
are some things we did not get to.
well, let's just skip on over to those.
Yeah, I'm like, well, yeah, I was obsessed with Egypt. Everyone's hot. We talked about that. We talked about how it was much more violent and scary than I remembered. I was really like continuously struck by that.
Yeah, my first 2 notes were literally, the first one was bitch was hardcore stabbing herself, very Juliet like, and then the second one was scarabs eating body alive, Jesus Christ. So those were like 2 of the first things that happened in the fucking movie.
Horror, and I was like, whoa.
Horrifying. And then I really liked the way that they showed, like, the way that she, you know, did that to herself, because it just showed, like, the shadow. And I find that a lot of the gory scenes they didn't actually fully show, which I appreciated.
True. Yeah, a lot of stuff was like, I've heard the camera at the last second, but you know it's happening.
Yeah, which I do appreciate, because scenes like it's hard for me to watch those. But anyway.
So there was a lot of boundary issues in this movie.
A lot.
Evie is getting kissed against her consent like 2 different times.
Twice. Yep.
And she's just like, oh my god.
I know.
Like Marilyn Monroe. Like,
Very Marilyn Monroe.
But she's like supposed to be super smart, and they just don't care about her boundaries.
Nope.
This movie does not pass the Bechdel test.
0%.
There's literally
there's
one lady in it.
Well, I guess there's 2, but they
yeah.
don't talk.
One literally. No, she does say like, hello, my love, in Egyptian, and that's like fucking it.
But not to each other.
Yeah, not to each other, certainly.
No.
But
not at all. No, that absolutely does not pass the
this
Bechdel
is a
test.
male as fuck movie, like
Yeah.
aggressively so.
Yeah, but luckily it's made for the everyone gaze, because okay.
Because of that. When there was the execution scene and she was like bargaining to save his life, I was like, you're a fucking rich bitch. You should probably just like pay to
She's
save
like,
a man's life.
1,000? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
I'm like, can somebody do something?
And okay, what's really sad about that IRL is that that's one of the first times that Brendan Fraser got like super injured on a film set.
Because he was doing his own stuff.
He literally knocked himself out because they had it too tight on his neck.
Oh my god.
So he literally got knocked out, and he woke up like in an ambulance with them being like, Brendan.
You fucked up your neck.
Yeah.
Boy.
Fucked. He
That
really injured himself there,
sucks.
which is really sad.
Yeah,
And
and as
also
you noted,
so fucking scary.
First in the series of injuries, which kind of totally set his career back.
Yeah. So that was a big one.
I didn't realize the line, I only gamble with my life, never my money, is
I
from
wrote
The
that.
Mummy.
Yep, because we were wondering where that came from. Right there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I wrote that one in giant quotes too. And then also I noted, which is kind of funny, when I was a kid, those bullet sashes that he's wearing, and that they're
bullet sash. I love.
I don't know what it's called.
She's beauty and
She's Grace. She's Miss Brendan Folger.
Bullet sash.
Ooh,
That would be a Miss America song.
That would be a Miss America song. The bullet sash. But yeah, I'm just calling it a bullet sash because you guys know what I'm saying.
Oh,
It paints a picture. I thought that was literally an accessory when I was younger. Like, I did not realize it was like
supposed to be functional.
a tool.
I mean, it was an accessory though.
Yeah.
These people knew what they were doing.
You know what? You're right, because I was just like, I don't know. I was like, LOL, it's so funny that like it's actually a tool, but like it looks fucking rad.
Yeah, and like I'm sorry, Chewbacca rocked the shit out of it.
You are so right.
It's
Brandon
a fucking
Fraser,
bullet sash.
Chewbacca. There's something going on.
Because really,
here.
do you ever see them actually take the bullets out of the bullet sash? No.
Oh my god.
It's fashion, honey.
You're so right.
It's fashion, babe.
Ugh, I love you.
Brendan Fraser is a killer. Like on the boat, just because he's mad at Benny, he
Dude, I
throws
know.
him overboard. And
I
I'm
was
like,
thinking
whoa.
that too. I'm like, every cruise line ever. Scary as
like,
fuck, dude.
why?
I don't want to go on a cruise because of that. I'm afraid of that happening.
Yeah, like I'm sorry he didn't stay with you when you were like shooting random desert people, but you're gonna kill him?
Yeah, like I think that's a little much. I don't know
Yeah.
why he like fucking hates him so much.
And maybe people would be like, you didn't kill him, you just threw him overboard. But I'm sorry, if you're in the ocean, in the middle of nowhere, that person's gonna die.
Oh yeah, you're fully. I mean, that's you signing up to be like, I don't give a fuck what happens to them. Mm-hmm. What? Mm-hmm. Come on, Brendan Fraser.
And
get
it's
with the
supposed to make
program.
him like cool. And I'm like, oh my god, psychopath.
No, and that was like the era of fucking Titanic, wasn't it? Like shortly after. You should
you're
know better than
so
that.
Right. Also, her room, Evie's room on the ship, I was like, why is this a suite?
Yeah.
It was huge.
Yeah,
I was
and
like, no.
she has like white linen sheets. She's just like
Yes, and
sleeping.
she's
I'm
like,
like,
I'm gonna move about my chambers. I'm like, what?
your fucking chambers. Get the
Keep me in a
fuck
closet, bitch. There's so many people on that ship. There's no way you have that room.
And she has a giant fucking like Sweet Life of Zach and Cody
in
situation.
a mirror, like brushing her hair. I'm like, stop! Like this is so ridiculous.
That is so fucking stupid. I didn't even think about that. That's hilarious. I wrote, just looking for a good time. That's what Brendan fucking Fraser says when he's in fucking jail.
Oh,
and I was like, me. And then he's like, who's the
aggressively kisses
broad?
her.
I was like, also me.
Who's the broad?
He's like, who's
She's
the
like,
broad?
broad? I never.
And her voice, like, she could play like someone from the same, like, she sounds exactly like Julie Andrews. They must be from the, like, she must, is she British? I don't know. I know Julie Andrews is, but
I don't know, but you're right. She got that posh accent.
yeah, she has the complete posh. Yeah, she's beautiful. Anyways.
Yeah, and her hair is like a beautiful halo of curls.
Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Or when she gets in like her little desert outfit and she's wearing the veil,
I'm like,
and you can tell that
"Hey."
she knows she's hot. And she's like, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, oh. I'm like, yeah, you're so
And
right.
I'm like, get a hat though.
Yeah.
You're going into the desert.
Yeah.
Your little veil is not gonna
See,
help
this is why I don't know if I could go to Egypt. It seems way too hot for me. I don't know if I could do it.
But I thought the desert scenery was so pretty.
It's gorgeous.
The camels are cool. Camels are so cool.
Okay, I wrote 1,000 notes about camels in my
Oh, do tell.
just about how cute they are. And I was thinking, I'm so Canadian because I was watching and I was like, oh, they look like little moose. And then I was like, I wonder if they're related to moose. And that's like what I was focusing on for some reason for like half the movies. I'm like, are they related to moose? And then I looked it up. They're not. But they are related to llamas. And that makes so much sense because their faces.
I just pictured you with like crazy like charts of biology with like genus, species. Are they related?
Also, aren't camels like from America? Like, aren't they from the United fucking States?
No way.
Dude, I'm pretty sure they are.
Where do you get this information?
I just
I
think
have
that.
to fact check you on
I'm
that.
pretty sure. It'd be
Why
so
would
funny if I was
camels
so
be-
wrong.
Are
I'm pretty certain that they were brought from here.
But we had to bring horses to America.
Yeah.
It autocorrected to our cams from America. I'm like, no, our camels from America.
I don't know why I think that, but
Oh my god.
am I right?
You're fucking right.
Oh my
The
god, I'm a
camel
goddamn
family
genius.
first evolved in North America 44 million years ago. What the fuck?
I know, I was like, it must be Pangea. And then I was like, wait, no, that was after.
These fucking camels crossed over the Bering Strait into Russia. Damn.
Holy-
They are
See, I love being
hardy
right.
as fuck.
This is one of the only like random facts that I know in my mind hole that I'm like for sure right. I don't know how I knew that, but yeah, from America. Like where though? Like where would they have lived in the? I guess in the
Camels.
desert. Maybe here.
Maybe.
Oh
Maybe we're in the birthplace.
my god. It would make a lot of sense if they were from here.
True.
Oh my god. Death Valley babies.
They fully went up into Canada, like in the Arctic. Yikes.
Well, the desert does get really cold at night.
That's true. So smart. God, Shea and her camel facts. Give me a little round of applause for all this knowledge.
Listen, I don't know where I store this stuff. This is where algebra should have gone.
In your camel hump.
But you're amazing. I got a couple camel humps right now.
Since you're a camel expert, is it true that they store water in their humps, or is that a myth?
Yep.
You look not sure.
I'm not. I think it is water. I'm pretty sure, because probably water and fat, I imagine. Because they can go.
Well, what's going on with that?
Can't they go like a billion years without peeing or something? Like, not a billion. More or less.
Water stored in a camel's hump.
I love that we've become a zoology channel. It is to me. They're just so fucking, like, just take a look at their faces for like 2 seconds. Serotonin levels up.
Okay, so they do not store water in their humps.
Okay.
Their hardiness and their ability to go days without drinking is due to their cells being oval rather than circular.
Oval?
That's part of the reason.
Holy fucking shit. Wait, crazy. Is it fat though?
Yes. High energy rich fat depots.
Boom. There you go. Oval. God.
Thank you for coming to Camel Talk.
Yeah, thank you. Camel Talk, baby.
It's our new podcast.
Yep, that's our after hours podcast.
Yeah, I literally, camels are so cool. God, I love the desert.
Yeah, she really does. Stacy's like a desert ass bitch, which I love so much.
I'm seeing nothing for miles.
Yeah, I wrote in all caps, kisses her, consent, Branden. And the mummy guy. Ugh, gross.
Grossness. Scarab scene haunts me to this day.
Oh, yeah.
When she gets all drunk and she says, I am a librarian. I was like, yeah.
My cousin is a librarian. Mm-hmm. Taya's brother.
Oh, really?
And I love that about him.
Lee, right?
Lee, yep.
Shout out Lee.
You met Lee.
I think
he's the fucking coolest. Shout out to you, Lee. You probably
I know
don't
all
listen.
of our fans.
And all of our, yeah. Exactly.
Even you listening right now.
Shout
I'm talking about you.
You know what we're talking about.
I know you, and I love you.
I love you too. Mm-hmm. That was very cute. I love that moment between us.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What else do I got here? I wrote, he that shall not be named.
Voldemort.
I was like, bruh. And he's bald. He's a bald bitch.
Oh my God.
And he comes back to like.
And he's got big dick energy, just like Voldemort.
Yeah, and he's like picking up people's like he's like sacrificing people to build himself up again.
Horcruxes.
Like,
it's all there.
Yep, it's all there.
I wonder if that happened in the original 1930s movie.
That'd be something good to.
I would say that we'd watch it, but I bet it sucks.
I'm sure it sucks.
And I'm sure it's wildly
racist. Yeah. Yeah. But the guy who plays the mummy Voldemort, quote unquote, whatever his name is, he is so fucking hot.
I think that's why all the zombies wanted to follow him. Because like, he's fucking hot.
I would have been one of those bitches. I wouldn't have even need to put a spell on me. I'd be like,
I was like, I think you freaky and I like you a lot.
That
would just be Shea singing to emo tap.
Me with the wig. We're talking about something totally different. We'll get to that.
Well, I don't know. His little like wifey chick, she kind of had like the Diane Ward bangs a little bit.
You're right.
Blunt.
You're right. She did.
Yeah.
It's all coming together again.
It all makes sense.
It all makes sense.
Well, speaking of stealing people's organs.
Yeah.
When he gets like glasses guy. So this guy, there's a nerd, one of the rival adventurers is wearing glasses and he's like running away because they've realized they've released something like fucked. And he loses his glasses and then somebody steps on them.
Yes.
And that is why I don't like to wear glasses outside the house. Like I'm like, if someone fucks with my glasses, I am blind.
Or in an emergency situation, you're not going to keep your glasses on.
No.
Like, what if you had to, like, jump into water for some reason? Or, like, you're jumping in general. Or, like, someone pushes you. Like, you're fucked.
Yeah, maybe I'm just paranoid. But whenever I do wear my glasses outside the house, I was like, somebody could just take these and smash them to the ground. Yeah. And I would be fucked.
You'd be out so hundreds of dollars.
And I just cannot see.
And that. Well, just like, it's a combo platter of like a lot of shit that could go wrong.
I didn't drive without my glasses. That's how blind I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that about you. Because you're always wearing contacts.
Right.
That's why. You almost never wear glasses.
No, because I don't want the fucking mummy to fuck up my shit.
Exactly. But usually when like people I love wear glasses, I'm like, give me them. Because I want to try them on and see like how blind they are.
And I wonder if they're worried like,
I'm like, I promise I'm wearing like white gloves. No, but yeah, I'm very lucky. I have good eyesight.
So jealous.
Like, I'm very fucking lucky. I know, it's a privilege.
I also wrote, good thing he got eyes first so he could see what a hottie Evie was.
Oh, he needed to.
Good,
Because
because
he's
otherwise
like,
would
who can I compare to my baddie? And then the tongue. Ew. And then when he was like regenerating himself, the part where so his cheek wasn't fully generated yet, the scarab like crawled into his cheek and he crunched on it. Fucking disgust.
Yeah.
Every hair on my body like rose up for some reason. It was like so gross to me. I don't know what it was.
Those scarabs. Ooh, such a good little like motif.
Yeah, no.
I thought it was actually hysterical when Benny starts holding up the different prayer icons.
Yeah.
And he's like, which one will work?
He's like, huh?
I was like, I love that this man is like, you know what? I'm just going to learn them all just in case.
He's
like,
like,
it's so practical.
Yeah, that's true. The faces melting off scene.
Gross.
I was like when they were like bringing the box, I guess.
Yeah.
The box out, and it was like, ah! Oh, that part.
I was like, of course they use the poor underpaid diggers as like sacrificial lambs.
Disgusting.
And this bitch is always reading from the books. I'm like, yeah, no. Don't read aloud from the scary Egyptian book.
Yeah, I'm like, I know you're a scholar, but shut the
Brendan
fuck
Fraser
up.
doesn't need to hear this shit.
No.
He doesn't care.
Why does he? Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck.
She's like, let me read this out loud perfectly.
Yeah, while we're in a tomb, I'm like...
And then the guy, way too late, don't read from the book. I'm like, bro.
You should have said that at the fucking beginning.
Yeah.
And also, why was he trying to open it up anyways then?
Exactly.
He's so
you
annoying.
know a lot about this book you couldn't even fucking open.
Exactly. And he also was, if I'm thinking of the right person, I'm pretty sure it was this character. He was also in another 90s movie, two 90s movies I love, Jumanji
Oh, yeah.
and Richie Rich.
Wait, in Jumanji
He's Robin Williams' father.
Yeah.
But in the Jumanji land, he's that like hunter guy.
Yeah, so scary.
Scary as
Like trying to shoot up children.
Yeah. All I remember is like a giant mustache and like him. I think he's on a horse, but I don't know. No, he probably isn't. I don't know. And then in Richie Rich, he plays Richie Rich's like butler, but I love his character. He's so sweet.
I only saw Richie Rich once. I have like basically no memory, and I always get it confused with the movie Blank Check.
Both are fucking fine.
I think I was just like, rich kids can't keep them straight.
True. Blank Check though is about not a rich kid that becomes rich, and it's sick.
Is he the one that has the water slide in his bedroom?
Yes.
Yeah. I always thought that would be so cool.
That movie is so. We need to watch because that's a DCOM. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Blank Check is? Okay, I'm putting it on the list.
And I also want to watch Paper Brigade, but I think I already put that on the list. And
I think that is on the list.
That is one of my top fucking favorites. And Freddy Krueger's in that movie.
What?
The guy who plays Freddy Krueger. He's like the quote unquote bad guy.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting off topic, but yeah.
I love when we get off.
Me too. It's what makes us. It's what
Spicy.
makes us beautiful. I hated when they were talking about the mummy and they were like, they're still juicy, and I was like, oh, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? They describe them as juicy.
Yeah, it's gross.
Disgusting.
And I like how they're acting like a juicy mummy is worth like nothing.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm
what?
pretty sure you can get some money for that juicy mummy.
I think you would get more money for a juicy mummy. Jesus, that was a hard sentence to say. More money for a juicy mummy. More money for a juicy mummy. Anyways.
More money for a juicy
They're saying
mummy.
mummy. And then the 10 plagues or whatever. Was it 9 or 10?
I forgot how quick they happen. It's like bam, 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 bam. They're like, oh, look, the water's now blood. Oh, look, there's an eclipse. Oh, look, there's zombies. I was like, whoa. For a movie that moved pretty slowly, it's
all
like
of a sudden.
rapid fire.
Well, that's why they're like,
out.
shit, we have to get all this out in fucking a half an hour.
Like, I would like to spend more time on the plagues.
Yeah. The locusts reminded me, was it in 2019 or 20? No, I don't think it was 2020. It was in 20.
It might have been 2018. Or was it 2016?
No, it was later than that. It was like 2019, I want to say.
Dang.
I think it was like July 2019. And so we live in Vegas, if you guys don't know. And like, I went downtown one night to celebrate Abby's birthday. Shout out to you, Abby. Love you, my sister-in-law. There were so many fucking locusts. Everyone was like, it's the plague, it's beginning. I'm like, shut the fuck up. But it was fucking weird. It was weird as fuck to see because they covered like you would walk. We were downtown, so you'd walk out of a bar and they would like swarm you. Like
Yeah,
it was.
they were covering people's cars.
It was disgusting.
It was really creepy, and it's like, what?
It was all because of weather.
Them with the desert
No.
necessarily.
No, they were just. I think it was
Well, I
like
guess
a.
you do because it's Egypt.
Yeah.
I'm dumb. But I'm just saying, we don't usually get a ton of locusts in Las Vegas.
It's not like that. I've never seen anything like that in my life. That was weird, but that's why like super biblical people were like, "It's beginning." I'm like, chill.
And then 2 years COVID hit, and they're like,
It's like, no, relax.
shut the fuck up.
But yeah,
I felt like some of the scenes, it was very clear to me that like this was for the 3D release.
yeah.
So many like smoke coming at the screen or like a skull, and I was like, oh god, I love when it's like painfully obvious that movies are like, this will be in 3D, and I'm just assuming it was released in 3D.
I'm sure it was.
And this was like when 3D was like starting to get poppin', or it's like, oh, I'll spend an extra $20 on a 3D ticket, and it's
I don't like 3D.
no, it makes your head hurt usually.
Although, you know they have like 5D theaters now
With like smells and
with smells, with vibrations, with water that sprays on you. They have them at Red Rock, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, how many movies does that really apply though?
I don't know.
You know?
I mean, probably a lot. Like a lot of action, a lot of kids movies. I would like to go to one, see what's up. I love California, what is it called?
Screaming.
Or-
Which, now that I say that, I'm like, that's very sexual.
Well, that's the roller coaster that used to exist. It doesn't anymore.
Yeah.
Now it's like
Whoa,
something incredible scene. But you're on the right track. It's soaring over California.
Soaring over California.
And you smell the oranges.
Oh, yeah. That's such a fun ride.
It is so fun.
And I love the process of getting on because you can tell there's like a ton of people like above and below you, and it's just weird.
It is weird. It's almost like you're walking on like a movie set or something every
Yes.
time. It's really weird.
And
It's
like
a weird
you feel
feeling.
like it feels like you are high up, and you are, but obviously not like in the sky. But
Yeah, and
it's
you're
just
not, like,
interesting.
time traveling through fucking it's an eerie feeling, but it's also very nice. It's very comforting and feels really nice. But yeah, I feel like going to a 5D movie, is it 4D? I don't know, something like that, would feel like that too.
Totally.
Yeah. Speaking of 3D, I think the scene where the mummy turns around and you see his fat fucking wagon. He has a giant ass, and I'm like, hi, you were made for 3D, baby.
Well, and I honestly, though, like, the more the action kicked up, like, the less I was able to pay attention. Did you feel that way?
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of, like, got distracted, and I looked back, and I'm like, they're still fucking fighting these
No,
mummies?
totally. It's because of the repeated scene. Like, they have,
That's
like,
true.
very repeated scenes.
Well, I
over
think
and
it's like, I'm already an hour and a half.
Yeah. It's like, how
Like,
are
all
you
my
not over
attention
yet?
beans have been spent. Okay, I have nothing left for you.
No.
Like, cool golden sword, bro. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, like, how many fucking books are you gonna read? How many fucking books? Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
And she's like, oh, we have to find the location of the books. I was like, dear God.
I know, and then she's like,
It
okay,
took
now
us
open
so
it.
long for you to get this one book.
I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? It took an hour and a half for you
Yeah,
to
right.
get here.
And now there's another one?
Yeah, no.
So annoying.
No, you guys. No, not into it.
One of the action scenes, and this is what I wrote down that cracked me up.
I was so excited.
Thirst trapping with one arm. Because at one point, Emojeff's arm gets chopped off, and he just like turns around, like smolders, and he's like, and then like regrowing.
Like, it's working for me, baby.
This is very sexual.
One arm is all
Yeah.
he needs. That is
just
all
like-
he needs. He's so
It's
fine.
like focused on his titties with his one arm. I'm like, one arm thirst trapping hard.
I love a good one arm thirst trap, baby.
I mean, who amongst us is not?
I also love the scene where Branden, like, the mummy screams at him and then he screams back. It's like, ah, and he's like, ah.
He does that twice.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about the one that happens later on.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, when's the first one?
When he very first sees the mummy.
Oh.
He's like, Evie, what are you doing? And then he turns around and he's like, oh my God. And the mummy screams and he goes, ah, back.
Amazing.
And then shoots him and he's like, I killed him. And then that one guy's like, you fucking idiot, you did not.
You did not fucking kill him. He's
Also
already
love
dead.
how at the end that guy's like, you have the eternal gratitude of my people. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
He fucked all your shit up.
Oh, 100%. I don't understand that at all.
It's like if he had never been here, everything
It would
have
never
been-
happen.
All those dead people wouldn't have been dead.
Yeah, here's a fun fact for you guys. Don't fucking go into tombs and dig up mummies. How's that?
Right.
Like, Stacy and I went to the Chicago Institute of Art when we were in Chicago. And there's a whole, like, Egyptian section, which was cool. But they had a literal fucking coffin, or what do you call it? Sarcophagus. I always want to call it esophagus. Sarcophagus. And I was just like, no. The energy was so bad in there, y'all.
They did warn people, though, which I thought was interesting. It was like, warning, there's like an actual dead body in the sarcophagus.
Yeah, I'm like, I hate this.
like,
why did you do this? Like, I don't get it. I hate that shit for some reason. It just, well, not for some reason. I know why.
Yeah, you
but
don't like disturbing the dead.
Yeah, it freaks me out. I don't like it. But that's also because I'm very spiritual in that way. So I'm like, I don't know.
Like, y'all trying to have a curse on us right now?
I'm like, what is it? No.
Yeah, I don't know if you like the Haunted Museum here in Vegas then.
Why do they have mummies?
I think they like claim they have remains of some kind. Yeah.
I do want to go, but everyone that knows me that has been, besides I don't think you ever told me not to go, but like everyone who has been is like, Shay, do not go, because I'm very, very sensitive.
Yeah, I would just be afraid you might pass out or something. But even if you do, that's fine.
I never have, but
they tell like scary stories of like people after they leave, they get in car crashes, and it's like,
you know what, some shit like that would probably happen to me.
People get in car crashes all the time.
But I will say, I do know how to protect myself, at least if I know I'm like stepping into a
salt.
Yep, I have black salt from Salem.
Noise.
And I, just like, I would light a candle, set some intentions, Yeah. I would know how to.
I think you would enjoy it. It's really well done. It's really interesting. Shout out Haunted Museum if you want to sponsor us. Holla.
Yeah, shout out to the Zach Baggins Haunted Museum here in downtown Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I would love to go, but I've heard mixed reviews about if I should go or not. So we'll see. Stay tuned.
I bet you go one day.
Yeah. I would like
we
to.
can make it a Halloween.
Ooh, that would be kind of cool. Maybe we should.
Little bonus.
All right. Well, yeah. Again, stay tuned. We'll see what happens. Vote. Tell me. DM us, and tell me if you think I should go.
Yeah, we need encouragement. Okay.
Yeah, we sure do.
That's all I had for my notes. Really. It ends rather abruptly.
Oh, we didn't bring up something very important. R.I.P. Winston.
R.I.P. Winston was a G. I did write R.I.P. Winston.
I did too. I wrote R.I.P. Winston Batty.
He got his adventure in the end. Well, and I remember when his character first gets introduced, I was like, why are they introducing this new guy like so late to the movie? But then I was like, oh yeah, that's right. He flies them out there.
He's so cute. And he's like, hey, do you want to go on an adventure where you probably won't live, but at least you'll save a girl and also save the world? And he's like, I'm in. And I'm like, you are so cute. I love you.
He was very precious.
Little Colonel Sanders.
Looking at
Those are all my notes too.
Wow. Okay. Sounds like we were on the same page.
Exactly.
But overall, fun movie.
Really
fun. A little long. Brendan Fraser looking fine. Everybody looking fine. There's all these memes on the internet now about how like my sexuality is the cast of The Mummy.
Dead ass.
I get it.
Me too.
You heard Brandon say Emotep was the hottest. I think Evie's the hottest.
I never said who I think
is the hottest.
I think they're all hot. The person that I found myself like really like staring back at a lot was the like leader of the Magi or whatever, the guy with the tattoos.
Yeah,
he looked almost like
too.
Like an Egyptian, like Sirius Black. That's like how I pictured Sirius Black looking, actually, when I was a kid. I thought he would look more like that, or like a Jafar, but like a hot Jafar.
He could totally play Jafar.
Yeah, so sexy. But yeah, he's probably the hottest. But also Evie was such a baddie. Loves it.
They're also hot. Fucking Anoxamamoon.
Yeah.
I don't know
Wait, who was
what her
that?
name is. The Emotep's lady.
Oh
in
yeah,
the beginning, who was like in the bodysuit with like the black paint.
Yeah, she's
on her.
sexy as fuck.
I was like, this bitch fucks.
Yeah, dude, they all fuck,
That's
and they
true.
should have all fucked each other at the end, and then I would have been really happy.
Yeah.
I think you're freaking.
Oh, I bet there's mummy porn parodies. I know what Shay's doing for the rest of her night.
I have to leave early.
Do some research.
Real quick research for the next follow-up episode. No, but it was a cool movie, and you know what? It's not something I would normally watch because, again, I do not really like action movies. They're kind of boring to me. I lose interest, but this one was really fun. Also filled with super hot people because we're Zorny, so like that was a huge reason why we watched it. But most importantly, Brendan Fraser, everybody, killed it again.
Fraser.
And I really liked I really like he is such a good actor. Like, he played a completely different role than he did in George of the Jungle.
Mm-hmm.
And in the next movie we're going to watch next week, baby.
Oh, yeah, but first, let's do our trivia and
Let's do it.
personality test. Okay, I have 5 questions for you.
I'm nervous.
I tried to make them easy because I know this isn't a movie you've seen a ton, and
No.
the plot was truly confusing and all over the place.
Yes.
So let's see if you remember this. Fill in the blank. Homenoptera is the city of the blank.
Dead?
Yes. What job did the mummy have before he died?
Oh, I know this. He was the
high.
priest.
I just mimicked her smoking a
Was it
joint.
high priest?
Yeah, he was
Okay.
the high priest.
I was like, the smoke, the stoner, the stoner of the village. I don't
he
know.
was the high priest, baby.
High priest. There we go. Yeah.
What were the Magi desert people sworn to do? What was their whole mission in life?
Protect the people of the dead.
But even more specifically than that, they're supposed to
Stop people from doing exactly what Brendan Fraser and everybody did.
Exactly. They fucking failed. They're supposed to prevent Emotep's return. They did
That's
not.
what it was. Right.
They did not do it. What are the 2 books the crew tries to find in the ruins?
I think it's the Black Book of the Dead and then the Gold Book of the something.
Oh my god, you already nailed my next questions, which were what were the colors of the book?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, well, so it was the Book of the Dead and then what was the other
Book
one?
of the Living.
Oh.
And but you nailed what colors? Black and gold.
There we go. Black and gold. Black
Golden
and
Knights.
yellow. Black and yellow.
You nailed it.
Nice. We got a little help. And
No.
Yeah.
What? From who?
from my wife.
Okay, and I have the quiz ready for which mummy character are you?
I'm so excited. Here we go.
Okay, pick a role on an expedition.
Okay.
Archaeologist, Egyptologist, bodyguard, treasure hunter, guide, or curse that follows the expedition.
I feel like I would be probably a bodyguard, honestly.
Love that. Pick a mode of transportation. Camel, horse, plane, bus, boat, walking.
I want to pick camel so bad because they're so
would
cute.
love
But okay, well, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I also would want to do boat, but I'll do camel.
Pick a statue of an Egyptian god to excavate. Anubis, Thoth, Ra, Hathor, Ammon, or Osiris. You know,
I have
know 'em, you
no
love 'em.
fucking idea.
You have strong feelings about each of these, I'm sure.
I like the name Cyrus, I guess.
Osiris,
Like-
you got it.
Trey Cyrus.
Pick a place to explore. Tomb, preparation room, throne room, treasure chamber, temple, bedroom.
Bedroom.
Say no more,
definitely.
fam. Pick an artifact to discover. The Book of Amun-Ra, the Book of the Dead, a key puzzle box, canopic jars, the map to Hamunaptra, or a nice gooey mummy.
A juicy mummy, as they call it. I would probably go with the map just because, like, everything else is pretty sus.
Truly.
Yeah.
Pick a weapon to fight the mummy you awoke. Explosives, pistol, sword, religious symbols, dark magic, or a cat.
A cat. Oh, I love that they just, like, held the cat in. They're like, ah!
Yes. So you are Rick O'Connell. You don't have the best luck generally, but you always seem to scrape by. You're pretty resourceful. You also act pretty cynical for someone who's a romantic at heart. Is it so much to ask for a quiet life with someone you love?
Wow, exactly, you guys. I am Brendan Fraser. You heard it here first.
Okie dokie.
Okay, I'm excited to give it
for
to you.
this.
Pick a role on an expedition. Archaeologist, Egyptologist, bodyguard, treasure hunter, guide, or curse that follows the expedition.
I'd be the Egyptologist because
Yeah,
that was my
baby.
jam.
Hell yeah. Pick a mode of transportation. Camel, horse, plane, bus, boat, or walking.
I'm going to pick a boat. I love boats.
She does. I also share your love, but camels had to win. Pick a statue of an Egyptian god to excavate. Anubis, Thoth, Ra, Hathor, Amun, or Osiris.
I'll do Ra, the sun god.
Ooh, you know these things? I don't know anything about this. Pick a place to explore. A tomb, preparation room, throne room, treasure chamber, temple, or bedroom.
I'd want to do the temple. I think it'd be cool.
Ooh. Temples are always like straightforward.
Like so pretty and cool.
Pick an artifact to discover. The Book of Amun-Ra, Book of the Dead, Key Puzzle Box, Canopic Jars, Map to or a nice gooey mummy.
The puzzle box.
Ooh. Pick a weapon to fight the mummy you awoke. Explosive, pistol, sword, religious symbols, dark magic, or cat.
I have to go with cat too because it's just like it's fun, doesn't really hurt anybody.
You are my one true love, Ardeth Bay.
Oh, Ardeth Bay.
You're the voice of reason surrounded by idiots. Oh my god, that is so true, dude.
Oh, wow.
That is so true. You know to stay away from curses, bad luck,
bitch.
and dangerous traps, but you somehow end up trying to save others from those things. Basically, you're the mom friend.
Oh,
that is
that's
true
so
as fuck.
nice.
Stacy's always the voice of reason who's
He
like,
looks sexy in
you
this
guys,
picture.
maybe we like shouldn't do that, but like we could do this instead. Hee.
Like maybe we shouldn't awaken any ancient curses. I've probably actually said that once. In my
I'm
life.
sure Stacy's told me that before. I'm like, let's explore the graveyard. She's like, that sounds god awful. No, but that's funny. You're my bae.
We make a sexy pair.
We are very sexy. If you guys didn't know, now you do. No, this was really fun. Like I said, without this podcast, I probably wouldn't have watched The Mummy again, just because, again, those movies aren't really my jam, but this one was really fun.
Yeah, and I'm loving Brendan Falger. We've got George of the Jungle. We've got Mummy. And next week, we're doing something we talked about earlier, the iconic Bedazzled,
which is the best. It's so much fun, and you really see Brendan Fraser fucking acting his fucking chops off.
Yes, so many different roles, accents, facial expressions, costumes. Just
it's
so
gorge.
good.
It's so sexy. It's so fun.
He's so funny.
It is so funny, and just like it makes me cry too. Also, killer soundtrack.
Yes.
Killer soundtrack. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you guys get excited, and again, thank you so much for listening. Obviously, we wouldn't be doing this without you, so thank you so much.
Yes, continue to send us any questions, comments you have to blockbusterwives@gmail.com.
Or you can add us on Instagram at blockbusterwives, or add us on TikTok at blockbusterwives.
Yeah, please send us questions. We love getting questions. Also, please subscribe and rate the podcast if you could. Very helpful. Thank you to everyone who's rated us so far.
Absolutely. You guys are the cool. Yeah, I saw some reviews already, and I was like, oh yeah, we don't tell people.
Yeah, we should be telling people. So thank you for reviewing it without us even asking.
Yeah, thank you. But if you could, if you are listening and you like us or love us or both, please feel free to rate and comment and let us know what's Gucci, and let all the other potential listeners what's Gucci as well.
Yeah, give it a share. We would love that.
And we will see you guys next week.
We love you.
We love you so much.
Happy Branden Falger.
Happy Branden Falger month. This is how
Branden Falger.
No. All right. Anyways, love you. Bye.
Bye.